Okay. Welcome. Right? Anyhow, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with my channel. Whatever. I guess it's mostly kind of irrelevant. I don't know, but hold on just a second. All right. I may have gotten another subscriber. I'm not sure, but anyways, if so, welcome. I'll do a quick little bit of house cleaning because this channel doesn't make a lot of sense, and that's fine with me. That's okay with me. But let's see. Good enough. So this channel is about all kinds of different shit. It's like whatever. I like to see what's going on, like what people are talking about, and then just give my 2 cents on it for whatever it's worth. And I think it's important. I like to listen to just nobodies, like just people that are not internet superstars and shit. I like to listen to that kind of stuff, and so I put this out for other people that might like to listen to that, you know. And I think it's important to get just normal people's, or not normal people, but everyday people's thoughts, views, and opinions on whatever is supposedly the big story thing going on. I like to hear everyday people, not internet superstars. And so I do this to kind of give my take as an everyday person. You know, I've been accused of being an agent and all this kind of stuff, and which is really weird because, anyway. So when I started this particular YouTube, this was specifically because somebody wanted to know about my story, because I had this crazy thing happen 2 years ago, and I have been trying to tell it since it happened to me. This crazy thing that happened to me 2 years ago, I've been trying to explain it, and it's just like, it's so hard. And this guy, when I was running a BitChute channel on, you know, whatever, this guy really wanted to know my story. And so I was like, okay, what I'll do is I'll set up a YouTube, and I'll just put the videos in YouTube so that you can hear it. But I'm warning you, it's a long story. And he didn't care. He was claiming he really wanted. So I set up this YouTube channel, and I started doing it. And I just gave up because it's just such a long fucking story, right? That's why it's called Storytime AH. That's why it's called Storytime AH. That was what I named it way back then, because it was specifically only for this story. And then I just ignored it. I forgot I even had the YouTube channel. Then I got triangulated on BitChute because they don't want to hear what I have to say. I got fucking, dude, I got death threats and all this kind of stuff on BitChute, and it's too much drama. It's not even worth it to me. So, and BitChute has gotten so much worse since then. It's so bad. Like you know, I'll use it just to. It's the only thing that I like it for is just like videos, like trying to figure out what's the news, so-called news today, you know. And so I just go there and use it for that. And but outside of that, it ain't good for nothing. Like any small channels like this one that I'm doing that are on BitChute, it's non-existent on BitChute. Any kind of channel like what I'm doing right now, it's non-existent. They don't exist. The ones that did, they all left around the same time that I did for similar and the same reasons. All the drama, like so much drama. All the people with their fucking, that are just totally insane, that have small channels, they just started trolling everybody else and forced everybody off. So the only thing BitChute is good for now is just like whatever whatever the story is. What's the popular story? What's the trending story? That's all it's good for. There is one channel called Gypsy Fox that's on BitChute, and his channel is, I like his channel because it, like I said, it's just an everyday person, not some internet superstar, blah blah blah. But they're so hard to find, and especially on BitChute. They just don't exist outside of like one, Gypsy Fox outside of that one, which is a good channel. That's the kind of format that I prefer, is that kind of format, but you just can't find it. And it used to not be like that on BitChute, and it just went to shit, to where really all there is a bunch of shitty channels and then the popular and trending. And those are that's what you have to choose from. And all the shitty channels, they're just not even worth it. Yeah. So I forgot where I was going with this. So anyways, so this channel, I'm just taking a different approach. I'm just doing kind of whatever I want. So whatever I feel like talking about. And a lot of times it'll be inspired by what's the story of today, or what's the story of the week, or what's the story of the month. And because, and 9 times out of 10, I'm just calling bullshit on these stories, where it's just, There's another channel called Baffled by Bullshit that used to be on, and he would do the same thing. He would see all these influencers on BitChute and all these places, and just like call bullshit. And it was a funny channel. It was funny because he's just some everyday person. He's not again, that's the kind of shit that I like. The only good these influencers are for is keep somewhat of a pulse. Because, like, for example, if a nuclear bomb went off in Israel around 3 a.m. this morning, well, when I wake up at like 8 or 9 in the morning, I know that all those popular and trending grifters are going to be jumping all over that story. Nuclear bomb in Israel or whatever. So even though these grifters, they're just half truths and lies, like, they're gonna tell you if a story is important, they're gonna jump on it because they're slimy grifters, So that's all that BitChute and any of these platforms really is good for. But I like the just your everyday people channels that are very, they're just practically gone at this point. But anyway, so I wanted to just say though, I'm doing a storyboard. So this channel is called, it's called Storytime AH, okay? And I explained why, and then so I came back to this channel. I realized I still have this, and so I just deleted all the videos that I had before and just started doing videos again. And then I decided I'm going to do this story. And so I want to let the new subscriber, and really anybody that might be viewing, know that I'm just going to be doing this story, and it's going to take up a lot of videos. But I have playlists, and so the storyboard, anytime I do a storyboard, it's always going to go in the storyboard playlist, and I'll title it storyboard. So if you are not interested in the storyboard, but maybe you do want to see like just what my views are on all this other stuff that's supposedly going on in the world, whether it's politics or whatever, I do videos on that just for fun, And the storyboard is also fun for me in a way, because it's a very, very fascinating story to me. And it's also really important. I think it's an important story that somehow needs to get told. And so the storyboard is just trying to figure out, how do I tell this story? So when I do a storyboard videos, it's just slapping shit out there. That's why I call it, I've mentioned this several times, that's why I call it a storyboard. It's just fucking, I'm just slapping shit on this board, trying to figure out how can I make sense of this, so that I can eventually tell it. And but anyways, I want to let you know, like, so I am pretty much every video that I'm doing when I'm working on this story, I'm gonna put storyboard in the title. So if you don't really care much to listen to the story, then because it's going to be really difficult. I mean, in a way, like it's going to be hard to follow. It's going to be a lot of cluttered thoughts and stuff. And so I don't know. I mean, there are people that know that this story happened to me, and I've been trying to tell it, and I've been having trouble. Those people might be interested, and people that are into, you know, Satanism and black witch cults and stuff like that are gonna maybe find interest in it. Okay. But yeah, I just want to let so I have playlists, and storyboard is the main playlist where all this stuff is going to go to the storyboard, and then everything else is. It seems like I've got a pattern, so I'll talk about politics. So I've got a playlist for the politics, and I talk about music and how it relates to everything, like my Iron Maiden comparison with what's her name, Katy Perry. You know, I like to use music as analogies to try to get people to think, like you know, because sometimes you can't just, you have to talk that way. You have to present things with music and art, because otherwise that's the only way people are going to make sense of it. Yeah. That's why they made the movie The Matrix, because that's the only way to really open people's eyes to what they're talking about. They Live is another one. The only way to open people's eyes is to tell it in a using art form, like, and they call it science fiction, but that's the joke where, you know, there's a lot of truth to the joke where people say They Live is a documentary, like it really is, but it's presented as a sci-fi, you know, thing. But I'll tell you, like, this story that I'm working on, I guarantee you, I know for a fact, someone like David Lynch could take this storyboard and make a really good movie out of it, without adding any embellishment or anything. Just take the story itself, that is based in, like, everything that I'm saying is as accurate and honest as I can possibly be, and take all of that without embellishing any of it and recreate it like a David Lynch style film. It would be a blockbuster, dude. It would be a great, I know it would. I know it would. If any of you are David Lynch fans, and you've ever watched Twin Peaks, the series, it's like a 12-disc series. It's a several hours series, you know. Any of you that are David Lynch fans that know about, are in the know on Twin Peaks, dude, I think that directors, I think, like Twin Peaks, for example, it is a person or a group of people's story. It's a real thing that happened, and they were somehow able to solicit it, and it got into the hands of David Lynch, and he's like, this would be great, and so he just reenacted it. But they don't say that. It doesn't say this is based on a true story or nothing. But dude, like, anyways, I don't know how many David Lynch fans there are. But yeah, so I got the storyboard, and then and so actually that's why I wanted to. I would turn the camera on, because I want to get started on the post event. And so I'm breaking the storyboard into 3 main sections: the event itself, the pre-event, and then the post-event. And I powered through the event itself, and then I believe I have powered through the pre-event, but I need to go back and make sure And then, so tonight I turned the camera on to start on the post event. And of course, I'm not going to in this video because I'm already 15 minutes in, but so I'll just talk about like what I mean about just so I don't have a lot, like I'm going to be working soon. And once I start working, I'm not going to have time to do videos. And so it's important to try to push myself to finish the story. There was a subscriber, I don't know if that one is still around or not, who was kind of pushing me like, dude, are you gonna keep working on this story? Because that's why they subscribed to my channel. It's because they found out about my story and they were watching the videos apparently. But then I was taking breaks and I would start talking about whatever other things on my playlist, like music and art and politics and the truther community and other stuff like that. And then the guy was like, dude, I'm here to watch, I'm here to hear this story. Like, are you gonna, what do you haven't worked on it for 5 days or a week or something, like what's going on? And there is a lot of truth to what the person is saying. Even though I'm not doing this to please other people, it's for me. It is true. Like I don't have a time. Like I said, work is going to start soon, and I won't be able to work on the storyboard when work starts to kick off, and or I'll have a lot less time, and so yeah. So I turned on the camera to kind of just get going on the post event. Like I said, I still have to go back and make sure that I didn't accidentally forget to upload any videos for the pre-event. I know I generally covered the event itself, and then like lately, I've been doing the storyboard, but not necessarily focusing on the pre-event or the post-event or what, just like focusing on certain things, like what is a magic circle, what is the Necronomicon symbol, why am I saying that this girl is satanic and in a satanic like Illuminati Freemason witch cult? Why there's so many details to it, which I've repeated many, many times, which is why I'm doing the storyboard. It's a fucked up thing, but I don't care. So so you don't, any video, most every video that is a storyboard video for the story is going to be titled, it's going to have storyboard in the title. And then anything that's not, it won't be titled. It won't have the word storyboard in the title. And, but yeah, that's like one of the main things I really want to focus on with this channel until I can get the storyboard done. And I've been repeating this a lot, but I don't care, is that once I get the storyboard done, then I can step back and look at the whole thing and figure out how to piece it together and condense it from like, it's probably going to be 20 or 30 hours or something, and condense it down to, 2 hours or something is the goal. So this is a very long-term project. The storyboard is a super long-term project. And I think I'm going to call it Todd Mahdi, dude. Because the last couple of days I've been fucking like going down this Todd Mahdi rabbit hole, and it's kind of blowing my mind. So I think the title of the story is going to be Todd Mahdi, or it's going to have something to do with the Todd Mahdi something or other, or maybe it'll just simply be called Todd Mahdi or the Todd Mahdi. It's super crazy though. And, if I could make this stuff up, I suppose I could make this stuff up, and maybe, the hardest thing I think about this storyboard is is being critical, because I a lot of this, we all have active imaginations, and so, like, just speaking for myself, I really got to be careful and be critical. But that won't come until later. Like right now, it's just throwing everything at this storyboard, whether it's overactive imagination or not. Throwing it all at the storyboard, then stepping back and looking at, and then I can approach it with a more critical mind and just look at it like, am I tripping or what? Like I really gotta do that. And that's one reason why it has been so important to tell the story, is so that I can get critical input, even if it's myself, where I can look at this whole thing and say, am I fucking tripping or what in the fuck? And really, that's always been the reason for doing a channel. So I'd done a channel for like 6 years, averaging like 3 or 4 videos a week before I started this channel. And that was always my goal, is to just put whatever it is out, and try to get input where people can just like help me process this, because this is what it looks like to me. So am I tripping? How much am I tripping? How much is it? How much am I not? Like what I need input, in a sense. That's what my channel has always been about. When I was doing my channel for 6 years, that's what a lot of it was anyways, was to put it out there so that I can get, like, if somebody really thinks I am tripping and they want to tell me, they can. So anyways, just some bullshit. This is just like me just shooting the breeze, whatever.